What's up guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today's video is going to be about something a little abstract, but something I was thinking about at work, literally randomly. It kind of started off as like one thought, and then I kind of translated it into another thought. And I figured I would just share it because, I want to be open with you guys. I want you guys to know kind of how I think and how I approach certain situations. So, as you guys know, I work for a banner company, and actually, 30-second timeout. I want to show you guys something. I just had this banner made the other day. Let me know if you guys liked it. I think I might have to have them make another one because this is really wide and it might not fit in the frame all the time, so I might have to shorten it up or redo it. But let me know what you guys think. I actually made this myself. I designed it and I did everything. So this is what I do basically. So with that out of the way, as you guys know, I make banners. I work for a graphics company that makes these huge banners for big sporting events and stadiums, and obviously baseball season is coming up, so we're doing a lot of baseball banners for like outfields and all this stuff, and we're doing dashers for hockey because hockey finals are coming up and NASCAR is really ramping up, so we're doing a lot of big banners. And I was thinking, as I was trimming one, so it comes off the printer and you have to trim it around and then it gets finished. It's finished like this, which is called welding, and so it gets folded over and basically melted to itself, and then it gets grommeted. So you have these little grommets here where you can hang them, you can put anything through it. That's how you hang them. So, so as I was cutting this huge banner, it was probably 40 feet wide by 200 feet long. It was huge, it was massive, and I was looking at it, and I was looking at a certain part of it. And I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but when you blow up a picture, when it says it's this big, and you blow it up like this big, and you look at a certain section of it, whether it's on the computer or it's like a big sign that you walk up to, and it looks really funny. It looks like very pixelated, and it really doesn't make sense. I was thinking how that banner could not be made without that little section. Even looking at the little section, if you like put your eyes to it, and you block out everything else, and it looks funny, and it doesn't look like it's supposed to be there, it doesn't make sense. But when you step back, and this is where it kind of transforms, this is where it almost feels like I'm grabbing at like some sort of talk or whatever. But when you step back and look at the big picture, and this literally, you look at the big picture of this banner, but you can also translate this into real life. So if you step back and look at the big picture, it all makes sense. It all fits in exactly where it needs to be. Whereas if you're really close up and you're really, close to something, and say I do this, it's really close up, all right? You have no idea what you're looking at the time, all right? You're looking at maybe some black, clear, who knows? But when I pull it back, it all makes sense. It's like, oh, okay, that's what it's supposed to be. And I started thinking, I'm doing this all day, and so I'm kind of thinking to myself, that relates so much to everyday life. And you're in a certain situation, and it might not make sense, or it might, you're like, what is going on right now? It's not going according to my plan. I don't get what's going on or what's supposed to be happening right now. And if you take a step back, or if you look back from where you came from a year ago, 2 years, 3 years, it all makes sense. Every little piece of your life has gotten you to where you want to be today. Maybe not where you want to be, but where you are today, okay? And no matter how much sense it made in the moment, I'm sure it didn't make any sense. Like right now, in the present spot that I'm at, I'm working in this job, I am trying to save money. I don't know which direction I'm exactly going in right now. But when I look back, if I look back to where I was 2 years ago, now I was moving to New York, I had no idea what was going on. But after moving to New York, and after actually being away from New York, every single little piece of the puzzle, from moving 3 times in a year and a half, to the good times and the bad times, and meeting Yami, and all these things, as insignificant as they were on their own, it made the entire picture make sense. And it's like, okay, this happened to get me here, and that happened to get me here, and it just built upon itself. It's crazy to think how one little thing, if it was a little bit different, could change your entire life. You know, if I hadn't gone to school at UNE, I wouldn't have made the relationships and made the friends that I made there, and I wouldn't have probably changed my major, and I probably wouldn't have gotten exercise, and then I probably wouldn't have become a personal trainer and gotten the job at the works and gotten sick of the job at the works and then moved to New York and, you know, gained all the experience there and, you know, met Yami and started watching YouTube and making YouTube videos and all that stuff goes back to like maybe not going to UNE and not starting to work out at UNE. So you can see how if you trace things back, and you can go to one specific event, and I guarantee you can see how that molded you into the person you are today. And so I guess the takeaway of this video is, no matter what situation you're in, understand that it's going to fit into your life one way or another. You know, it's going to mold you into the person you're going to be 6 months from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. Whatever situation you're in now, it will get better. If it's a good time, it's a bad time, no matter what, you know, I guess it really doesn't matter if it's good or bad, but it will get better and it will transpire into something else you couldn't even imagine. I could not imagine after, you know, thinking at UNE, being at UNE and going to school for exercise science, and I couldn't have predicted in a million years what happened after that. But I guess that's not your job. Your job isn't to predict exactly what's supposed to happen. You're just supposed to work as hard as you possibly can to get to where you want to go. And back then, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know I wanted to move down to New York. And moving down to New York, meeting Yami, and then moving back home, which kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie. But it is helping me move to my goals, and I got to keep that in mind. So I guess the takeaway is, wherever you're at right now, guys, keep pushing forward. No matter how good or how bad the situation is, keep moving forward. Never get complacent with where you're at, because it's going to change. It's going to change, and hopefully if you work hard enough, it will change for the better. So I hope that made sense. I don't know what I was really talking about, but it's just a thought I had from looking at this huge banner, and, you know, I was, you know, a foot away from it and it looked like nothing, and then it just kind of transpired into something else. And so that's going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys mañana.